Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
All right, welcome back to another week of Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I want to pass on a few terrific events that are going on in our community, and I really want to give a shout out to these folks. First one is Tombstone Small Animal Shelter, second annual fundraiser by Brandon, and it's going to be February 28th from 12:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. That's at 1037 South Landon Parkway, Tombstone, Arizona, right at the shelter there in Tombstone. And this is a bike and car show, $10 luncheon from 12:30 until it's gone, and there's a 50-50 raffle every hour, and there'll be plaques presented for the car and bike show at 3:30 p.m. You have to be present to win this year. Entry is only $10 per vehicle, but you can donate a bag of dog or cat food as your alternate fee. Raffle prizes, vendors, bike and car show, who could ask for more? Even a live DJ. Sounds like a really great event. Also on February 28th is the 9th Annual Women's Council Realtors Dessert Auction, and that's being held at the Ethel Burger Center right there at 2950 East Tacoma Street right here in Sierra Vista from 6 to 8 p.m. So you can go to the bike and car show and then go out to Ethel Burger Center in the evening. A portion of the proceeds go to benefit Echoing Hope Ranch. And so I hope you'll come out to the 9th Annual Women's Council Realtors Dessert Auction. Really super awesome foods there. Really fun to compete in that effort. Another event by our friends at the Sierra Vista San Pedro chapter of Kiwanis and Just Kids Inc. And they are sponsoring the Shamrock Fun Run Walk. It's a 5K, and it's going to be awesome. There is opportunities to still get in on the sponsorships for this great event. Really easy to get your company name out there and get a little bit of recognition, so I hope you'll do that and support the Kiwanis Club for the 5K Run Walk, and that's going to be on March 14th, 2026. Also on March 14th, 9 a.m. to noon, Project Linus and the Lions Club right here in town, in conjunction with the Salvation Army Community Center, teaming up at 180 East Wilcox Drive, right there at the Salvation Army, to participate in what they call Make a Blanket Morning. And you've heard us talk about this many, many times. We've had a lot of folks on talking about it. This is where you're making no-sew tied fringe fleece blankets and crocheting borders on pre-cut fleece. And they also do coloring quilt squares for one-of-a-kind quilts. It's a family-friendly event. They welcome all helping hands. You can spend a little time or a lot of time, but it's there from 9 a.m. to noon on March 14th on a Saturday, so you can serve your community and make a difference. So come on down and support the Lions Club and the Salvation Army in Make a Blanket Morning. All right, that's our announcement for today. Let's get back to Keeping It Real, and we'll get underway in just a moment.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving service that we agree for military law and retirees. Stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trust a team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
All right, good morning. Good Saturday morning to you, everybody out there in Cochise County, and welcome to the Keepin' It Real radio show brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm sitting in the studio today with Adam English, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his business. Today it's going to be a little bit of a business spotlight for a new partner out here, and we really want to be able to understand what he does. But first, we want to get to know him as a person. You know, we always do that on our show, and we always like to find out, behind every great charity or organization or business is a great person, and we love to hear their story. So, Adam, welcome to the show, first of all.
Great. So glad to be here and great to be back in one of my home cities, Sierra Vista.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself first. Maybe just give us a little understanding of just you and where you come from and where you were, originally from and what connection do you have to Sierra Vista, or have you had?
Great. This is a great question for me because I am literally coming back to my roots to be sitting in this office off of Fry Boulevard here in Sierra Vista. A little bit of my upbringing was born in Phoenix, Arizona, but my life was Southern Arizona, Douglas, Arizona, Sierra Vista, Tucson. Literally went to, I think, 6 schools here in Sierra Vista. Bella Vista, Town and Country, Huachuca Mountain.
Wow, you moved around a little bit.
We did. We moved, and there's a lot of virtues to that. But yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is I'm a Southern Arizona boy at heart. I know this city like the back of my hand. So
it's funny because we hear that all the time, how people move around, not only within the city, but also they leave, they come back, they have a journey somewhere else, bring some experience back to, our hometown, and then open up a business or do something like that. So it's really cool to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about kind of your background and everything. Now, I understand, we talked a little bit before the show about some of the things you've done. And one of the things that I found really interesting was you kind of helped diagnose problems. Yeah. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I'd love to. Have you ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember the wolf?
Yeah.
So they called on the wolf to fix problems. I always like to joke about that as, people said, hey,
You weren't cleaning up dead people, though, right?
You know what? It was either a dead business, and I would show up in order to keep things alive. Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
So really just to kind of get to the gist of it, I worked for the largest electrical distribution company, a division of them, which was a $1.2 billion division. And literally, I was the process improvement savings guy for anything. It could have been, we were distributors for large manufacturing companies like Raytheon up in Tucson. That's where I started. I sat at Raytheon for 7 years.
Wow, that's a long time. Yeah.
It was. And my claim to fame was I knew how to improve processes and save money. Where you'd have 5 resources in town, and we had a cost savings goal at age 21. I was hitting everybody's goal for savings projects and doing some pretty fun, pretty amazing things as it related to numbers and keeping customers happy on their bottom line.
So was that something that, you learned, or was that something that you felt like you kind of had just a connection with? You felt like, you were just kind of a little bit born to do that kind of thing, where you were looking at an issue or a problem and you're like, I think I've got an idea here on how to fix this, how to solve this. Were you a problem solver always?
I don't think I was, but I obviously had something inside of me because one of the bigger projects or things as a young kid, I felt it was common sense.
Yeah.
These things to me, it's like, why does it have to be different? Why does it have to be hard? Couldn't it just be easy? One of the bigger breakthroughs was at age 21 as just a young guy. I mean, 21 is a young age to be in doing big things like that. There was a distributor that just wouldn't go direct with our company. And what I did was I made them an offer they couldn't refuse, right? I used the engineers and the people out at Raytheon, and I had them agree to spec in an alternative product. And I approached the manufacturer and I said, it's okay if you don't want to sell direct to us, but I'm just letting you know we've spec'd in an alternative product. And something that took my corporation 10 years to do, they said, Adam, how did you do that? How did you get them to sell direct? I said, they really didn't have a choice, because I had the customer to back me up and we were going to switch on them. So that was one of just the things where I said, well, you can't force anybody to do anything, but you sure as heck can leverage the people around you, the community around you, to back up whatever initiative you're going to push. And that was a beautiful thing at a young age to have people who've been doing that for 15 years say, how did you do that? That was cool.
It's kind of interesting that you brought that up, too, because I think back to my youth and whatnot, and I was in a position where I was like, the second youngest in the United States for my company in the position I was. Wow. And sometimes that kind of gave me an advantage, and sometimes it was kind of a disadvantage. I saw, there was a lot of people in there who were much, much older than I was, and sometimes that creates a little bit of issue. Did you ever run into that where you had some people like looking at you like, all right, kid, come on?
Oh, yeah. I had people get really upset with me. And, and as a younger kid, you don't know how to deal with people who are upset as to when you've when you've been seasoned through it or you've been tempered through it over time. Right now, I can hold any problem. It's just like, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely had people say, hey, slow down. I'm like, I'm not here to slow down.
Yeah, that's a great point. I remember when I was younger, and our company at the time was looking to streamline process and looking to streamline business lines, and they were kind of shrinking the volume of people a little bit too. And as a young guy, like you mentioned, you don't know what you don't know, and you just like, oh man, I can do this. Sure, I'll take that. And pretty soon you've got like 20 different lines of business that you're running, and you're kind of making people upset about that. Mm-hmm. And you don't even really realize it's not like you're doing it maliciously. You're just young. Oh, yeah. Did you find the same kinds of things a little bit? You're kind of a go-getter?
Absolutely a go-getter. But when you have management who wants that and they're able to guide you, always having a good mentor right next to you is always a good way to tone it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told, and this is a great analogy. I love the way that this was put by my boss, Brett, back in the day. And he's like a brother to me. He was definitely part of my development for about 20 years. And he said, Adam, you're like a puppy. He said, you're so cute. Like, you do such great things, but then you just pee all over the place. And I said, oh, okay. He said, you got to kind of relax a little bit sometimes. I said, okay, because you want to do good.
You do.
You get a little bit excited and you pee on the rug. You got to stop peeing on the rug.
Right.
I love that.
I love that analogy. That's kind of a funny one. And it all makes sense. And I love the fact that you brought up mentorship, because we have heard that many times on the show as we have these business spotlights. Almost all of them, that I've interviewed where you had a business that survived was because of great mentors. Somebody had somebody else kind of watching over their shoulder or helping them out or looking after them, kind of helping guide their way as they kind of got into an area that maybe they weren't, an expert yet at. And it really, really helped them. It helped them flourish and to stick around, because so many times you have, these businesses that don't make it. And in fact, I had somebody sitting exactly in the same chair that you are in the studio. And she was like, I hate seeing a business for the first time when they're having their 80% off going out of business sale. I hate that. And what a great point she was making, because oftentimes we're not looking at everything. That's what we like to do, is showcase people here. But one of the things is some of these businesses just don't survive. And a lot of it has to do with, they're getting into an area that's kind of all a little and tough already. Maybe it's a restaurant or something that's difficult. They really need that mentorship, like you mentioned. So
absolutely. I think mentorship is probably the most important thing for anyone who's going to do anything, for the most part, but especially going into a business. For me, that mentorship is fundamentally the thing that helps you not make mistakes that they've been through in the past.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, we're going to take a quick break, come right back to the show, and we're going to talk all about your business. I know people are wondering, okay, what is this guy? What does he do? So we'll be right back, folks, after these brief messages. Tax time is here, but before you spend your refund, consider real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. It's a great way to move from renter to homeowner and on the road to building wealth.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Think of me as your guide to all things real estate. I tailor my approach to your needs and, most importantly, your goals. It's time to come see me and get a plan for your success.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Visit Sherry at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
It's the Home Spotlight series where home stories are told until they're sold.
If you've ever dreamed of living in iconic Ramsey Canyon, this is your chance to own a true piece of Arizona history. Welcome to 44 East Ramsey Canyon Road, a one-of-a-kind 1930s retreat listed at $845,000, nestled on just over 4 wooded acres directly bordering the Coronado National Forest. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,400 square foot home blends timeless charm with thoughtful updates. Step inside the slate and wood floors, a beautiful original rock fireplace, and a 4-season Arizona room surrounded by nature. The primary suite feels like your own getaway, featuring a gorgeous bathroom with clawfoot tub and a private deck overlooking stunning canyon views. The European-style kitchen includes cherry cabinetry, a wine cooler, and a pantry with rotating shelves. Outside, enjoy a seasonal creek, irrigated fruit orchards, a large workshop, and multiple patios to take in abundant wildlife. And you're steps away from the Arizona Folklore Preserve and the Nature Conservancy, a little slice of paradise.
717-599-2439. Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living.
All right, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team right here at Long Realty Studios, right behind Denny's on Fright Boulevard. And I'm sitting here with Adam English, and we were just talking about him and talking about his background. I kind of want to talk about your business. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
All right. So my name is Adam English, and I am the co-founder of Bug Stop Termite and Pest Control. So the way I like to say it is we're not your standard pest control company. When we started off, we wanted to be. And what we found out really fast is as a small company starting off, like technically as a garage band, you're going to have a lot of challenges and you're destined to fail statistically.
Good point.
But on my end, failure is just not an option. It never has been. And in my end, you lose. You never lose the war, but you lose little battles here and there and you learn from them. This was something I just wasn't going to fail at. So what we are is we work about 90% with realtors.
Makes sense. We see a lot of that kind of work, right?
Well, realtors are you're the keys to the door, so to speak. So when we started off as a business, we started trying to be like standard pest control companies. Hey, let's get residential. Let's do this. I was literally riding a bike with door hangers on because in my process efficiency mindset, on a bike, you can get to more homes than if you're walking or if you're in a car. So I would put a little map thing on my bike and I would go and say, oh, I just put 1,000 door hangers on residential homes. Now, I thought that was a good thing, but I learned right away that really didn't generate business. No. And over time, I knew I needed to build up termite inspections, termite treatments, stuff that we know we could bring value to, but you have to build culture. So our journey started on technically Instagram for day one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And my whole life, I really didn't want to be on camera, but you could never tell, like as of now, because every day I'm posting my face on Instagram and videos and so on. But we got that Instagram turned into building community around realtors. I said, I'm only going to follow realtors. I'm only going to learn about them. I'm only going to create content for them because it just felt right.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know if what I was doing was right or wrong. I just said...
It's a bit of a gamble.
It was a bit of a gamble. I actually had a girlfriend who was a realtor at the time, and she brought me to an event, and I started saying, well, you know what, these realtors are actually, so they need a termite inspection every single time. Termite jobs are, good jobs. You know, there are a lot of great things around working with realtors, and what we did was we became mostly at this point, which we can evolve. I'm open to evolution.
Right.
But right now we are trending at about 4,500 termite inspections in the city of Tucson and surrounding cities, including Sierra Vista. I think we're doing right now an average of 10 inspections a week right now, which we want to boost up here. If you were to look at and see how many homes went under contract in the city of Tucson, February or January, right? I don't know. Maybe it's 1,200. If we're doing roughly 350 termite inspections a month, what that's telling me is we're literally doing something amazing, because to capture a market of about 25 to 35% from a garage band.
I love that term, garage band, yeah.
I am so proud of what we did, because...
Now, how long did it take you to get to that?
Everything is built off of consistency. It took a long time, but when the flood doors opened, it's because of the time that we took building it. So I would say from a perspective of getting to this, it took about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it took time. It took time.
Did you ever worry during that 3 years, because there's ups and downs, right? I've had my own business too several times. And there's sometimes where you're like, oh my gosh, is this going to work out? Something just keeps driving you to keep going, but it's a little bit scary sometimes.
It's a lot scary all the time.
Okay.
It's starting a business and working your way into trying to replace what you left at a bare minimum.
Right.
It was really scary, but there was one thing I had in my mind was, if I can't do it, who the heck can? Right. So I had a lot of belief in myself. But yeah, I was able to, I'd say it was just a lot scary.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, because you take these risks, and risk takers are the ones who make all the, money and the championships and things like that. But at the same time, there are losers on that end too, and you just worry about that a little bit. Like you said, though, you've got to have that positive attitude that you just can't fail. I believe that, if you come into it with a really strong desire to get to the finish line, and you can actually visualize it, I feel like you're just that much more likely to get there.
Yeah, and then as you build momentum and you start to see the things that work, you can keep statistics on paper, but then you can subconsciously process them in your head.
Yeah.
And say, hey,
Yeah.
I keep doing this and things keep getting better. So if I keep doing this and keep doing this and keep doing this and just keep doing it, statistically, things should continue to get better.
Yeah.
But
well, you're doing pretty good. I mean, 25% or 35% of market share, that's pretty huge. That's pretty giant.
It is. I'm just so proud of us for what we did, because it snowballed into something where now, it's not going to happen, but if I were to step away and go hide under a rock somewhere in Asia or South America or something like that, technically we built enough of this company to where I could just walk away and things would be fine. Yeah. And that happened
quick.
Just recently.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be able to have said that 6 months ago.
Wow.
But yeah, I think if I went and hid under a rock, we'd be fine. As long as I had 3 months to leave behind the processes and everything like that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a process guy, talking about your past and being able to look at processes. Has that given you any kind of advantage in this business, do you think, having that mindset already, or no?
Absolutely. I think everything happens in life under an ultimate plan and an ultimate reason. Yeah. So the fact that I did what I did for so many different people, so many different Fortune 500 companies, met so many different personalities in rooms and situations where most people would crumble, and you sit there and you're just calm and you solve a problem and you win over a person who doesn't want you or your company around at all. I've learned so much. And I am able to apply every single thing of what I've learned into this thing that we're building. And I love it. I mean, from processes to IT development, customizing our own IT solutions, putting together processes, training, developing, managing finances, managing sales, problem resolution, legal.
When you get into it, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot to be thinking about. And each time you open a door, it seems like there's 2 more doors open after that. Mm-hmm. Of things that you hadn't yet thought about, but they're opportunities. Crazy.
It is. And there's one thing I am confident about is I got it handled. No matter what angle comes at me, the experience that I've gained has me covering it all. There's nothing that is going to shock me. There's nothing that's going to surprise me. And it's from almost every single pillar of what could happen. I feel like I have the experience to manage it.
Well, let me ask you this. So, in just thinking back to my question about being able to diagnose these problems and being able then to use that in your own business, what about the fact that those businesses, they weren't your business? So I'm sure you worried about whether or not they would survive or succeed and everything, but this is like your baby. This is your personal thing. Mm-hmm. Is there a difference between the two?
It is night and day.
Yeah.
I cared about my job. I did a good job. I loved my job. The moment I left my job to do this, I loved it. Yeah. I said, I have the best job. I get to travel the world and the country. I've been everywhere twice or 3 times or 4 times.
Yeah, we'll talk about that before the end of the show for sure.
I loved it, but now it's this complete night and day. This is something that is it's like my precious.
Yeah.
From the movie, right? This is like the
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
This is the Lord of the Rings. It's the precious. It's the beautiful thing that we did. As
Do you
a family.
find yourself kind of going along that same movie line? Do you find yourself kind of obsessing with it a little bit, like it's your whole life, like it's the center of gravity for you?
For me, enjoyably, I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy the long nights. I enjoy the early mornings because I know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a nucleus of love, hope, spirit, just something I feel we deserved to do. And just the fact that we actually did it and it's a real thing. It's just the most precious gift that I could do for myself, my family, and everyone around me.
That's awesome. Well, let's hold on that high note, I guess, and we'll come right back. Folks, again, we're with Adam English from Bug Stop Pest Control, and he's telling us all about this, but we're talking a lot about other things, too, what kind of goes into a business and the kind of positive energy you have to have in order to be a survivor in this thing. So we'll be right back, folks, in just a moment with Keepin' It Real.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you. Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
It's the Home Spotlight Series, where home stories are told until they're sold.
Today we're excited to feature a beautiful Castle and Cook home in one of Sierra Vista's most desirable neighborhoods, the Estates at Holiday. Welcome to 4390 Christopher Drive, listed at $455,000, offering 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2251 square feet of bright, comfortable living space. The open split floor plan creates a spacious and inviting atmosphere. You'll love the bay window dining nook, the generous living area, and the gorgeous kitchen featuring deep wood cabinetry, granite counters, stainless steel appliances, and a stylish backsplash. Additional highlights include indoor laundry, a 2-car garage with epoxy floors, and a water softener, plus a covered patio and an outdoor spa to unwind and enjoy. All of this just a short walk to community pools, playgrounds, the activity center, and minutes from shopping and restaurants.
717-599-2439. Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living. All right, folks, welcome back. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and the team right here at Long Realty. We're sitting here talking with Adam English from Bug Stop Pest Control, and we were kind of talking before the break. We were talking about just surviving and having a positive attitude, bringing that positive energy, bringing your past experience, with problem solving into this business. But you were really talking about how this was such a precious thing to you and so important to you. You left good stuff to come to this. I've done the same thing too, where you leave something that's pretty darn good and then you're kind of taking a pretty big risk. Was that hard to do for you and your family to kind of take a risk like that?
Everyone told me not to do it.
Of course.
Everyone, the kid's mom, my mom, everybody said, are you the job that I left behind? They're like, you're going to do what? I even had the human resources Sherlock Holmes and investigate to see if I was maybe going to a competitor and was trying to hide it. I'm like, no, I'm starting a pest control company. And they said, like, you're crazy. I've lost friends doing it, like that I thought were friends at work. I'm like, I thought we were friends. And now that I'm leaving, you're not even saying bye to me. Like, do you think I'm stupid?
Yeah.
So
it's tough. It's really tough. Wow. It's such a change to be able to go in a different direction and to change your whole kind of life. And speaking of life, I kind of want to dive a little bit backwards into your life too. You had mentioned it. You mentioned a bunch of different places you've been. Mm-hmm. When you were doing the job where you were kind of analyzing problems, it took you around the world, didn't it?
It did.
What kinds of places did you go to? I mean, what are some of the other countries you went to?
Beautiful experiences, starting with some of my favorites was Singapore, where I even went to Malaysia, to Indonesia. I ended up going to France, United Kingdom, all over Mexico, Czech Republic.
Good grief.
Canada, of course, everywhere in the United States, all up and down Mexico. And I lived in an airplane, got status. First class was cool.
Right.
You know, having a company credit card was cool. But I've seen a lot of great things. It was a beautiful experience that not many people get to experience, and I got to do it for free, kind of.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I know, having done that quite a bit of travel and everything, it's awesome when you first, make gold or platinum or whatever you got, you know, for something, but then all of a sudden, and you're flying first class, but then it kind of gets old after a while. You know, the hotel, that's really a nice hotel, doesn't seem as awesome anymore. Did you experience some of that?
Kind of. And I've always thought about that because people always said, did it get old? I'm like, no. I liked it.
Well, you were traveling a lot of different places.
Yeah, and even going back to the same place, I was cool with it.
Yeah.
The problem was leaving your family behind.
Yeah.
And then you have real family things that need to be worked on because family it doesn't fix itself, right?
Right.
There were times when I'd get back on a Friday and I'd have to leave on a Monday. And I really didn't want to leave because I had to fix stuff. And that was hard, having to leave.
Yeah, that's super tough. That's super tough. And it takes you away. I miss a lot of birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, being on the road. What was the coolest place you went to? What was one of your favorites? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite was in Olomouc. Some people pronounce it Olomouc, but it makes the people from Olomouc makes their ears turn.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. So Olomouc, Czech Republic. So flew into Prague or Praha. And, the reason I loved it was just the streets, the colors, the churches. It just felt like everybody was moving slower.
Oh, yeah.
Walking slower. The breeze felt slower. Walking at nighttime at 11:30 or hit midnight and just feeling the church bells ringing on top of you. And you're like, I'm actually in Prague.
Wow.
I'm in the Czech
you're
Republic.
In this place,
And it was so cool because, Prague is the big city, but Olomouc was the smaller, it's like the Tucson of Phoenix, so to speak, something like that. But it was just much slower. And then it almost feels like when I talk about it right now that I can taste being there. Like I can taste the colors and taste the feeling. It was really cool.
Wow.
I really like that place. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of cool. So one of the things I was thinking about was you've been all these different places and everything, and you've seen all these different things. When you were a kid, you probably had no idea that you'd get to do that. Was that kind of cool? You got to kind of pinch yourself a little bit. Wow, look at me. I'm getting to do all these things.
Absolutely. I mean, there's things in life where I say we aren't supposed to be doing this based off of the upbringing that you have, right? You're like, and then even family members and people, they're like, look at, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just traveling the world doing cool stuff because I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Same thing with the business that we're doing now.
Yeah. Let's steer back to the business again. So Bug Stop Pest Control, you are one of the founding, people here. How did you gravitate to pest control? I mean, how did that jump? It seems like kind of a leap. Did you know somebody in the business or did you have an opportunity?
Yeah, great question. It happened because my brother was doing pest control for about a decade. And on my end, what I wanted to do was I knew I didn't want to be a middleman anymore solving other people's problems. I said, if I'm so good at this, why am I doing it for someone else?
Right. Gotcha.
And so, my girlfriend took me to an event in Austin. You get to these inspirational events and all of a sudden your eyes open and you're like, okay, I'm making a decision. Okay, I'm going to try to do something different. So I'm in my house back from the event, putting sticky notes on my walls, strategizing what I'm going to do in order to build my life for myself and my family and just not be paid well doing something for corporate people.
Yeah.
And while I was doing that, my brother walks in and he's like, oh, we got bought out by the biggest company and right now my pay and what are you doing? I said, I'm opening my own business. And he said, are you really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to open my own business. I'm going to be a consultant for people who either want to improve their businesses or they want to open their own business. Okay. And he goes, have you ever, pest control? There's a lot of money in that. I said, give me the elevator speech. What are you talking about? And give me the numbers because I process things really fast. Just tell me what's what. I said, come back tomorrow after he told me. And then we spent a few hours putting sticky notes all across the mirror in my garage. And I had categories, and we stuck everything down. I said, okay, if we do this, this is what, and even to the point where, okay, these are the next steps, right? I said, if we do this, this is what kind of money we could bring in. He said, yeah. I said, and it didn't work that way, by the way. All the sticky
notes did.
Yeah, and at the end of the day,
good plan though.
It was a great plan, and we made a decision. We said we're going to open this business faster than anyone's ever opened a pest control company, and didn't work that way either.
Wow. Well, and that's kind of funny too, because there's a lot of pest control companies out there. So that's interesting that you chose that. I always find interesting from, the perspective of, what people, even if you have, obviously you had your connection with your brother and there's that, but people jump into some of these businesses that are kind of already pretty full of other things. Did that worry you at all?
There's two things. Number one, I personally, I thought to myself, number one, is this an avenue where you could do it?
Yeah.
And then the second one is, did it worry me? I totally didn't even care.
Really?
Yeah, because I said, the way I looked at it is, you have to have definitiveness if you're ever going to do something. And the worst thing I honestly think anyone could ever do is care about what another company is doing.
Yeah.
Or companies, or where you sit in there. The one thing I knew is they don't have one thing, and that one thing they don't have is me. Ah. And I really thought, I honestly think that, my company has me. They have me who can come here and sit in front of a podcast with you, or go and do networking. And with all the experience I had, I said, I'm very valuable. And that to me is what let me know that this is possible, is the fact that I'm doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting that you've kept so positive through the whole thing. And even though, like your sticky note analogy there, you had all these sticky notes up there, and then you were like talking about how, it didn't quite go as that direction, but you had the general idea and the scope of what you wanted to do. Yep. And just dove in. Wow.
Just dove in. Now, it wasn't just a dive in. I did balance. I had my brother quit immediately.
Really?
Yeah. I said, you quit. Well, yeah.
And so he's going to kind of do the work to start off with right away.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, I'm going to make sure that rope is super tight before I let go. Good and not so good.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to let go of that rope. You're always going to think you need to hold on to it way past when you actually do.
Yeah.
So when you let go, your whole life changes. Everything changes in your life. That was the scariest thing for me. I cried. I said, I can't believe I quit my job today.
Yeah.
I wrote HR a letter, and that was such a big moment for me, was when I let go. Not only did I let go of the rope, but I let go of the secret that I was holding on to.
Right.
Which was, am I people, what do they call that when you're an imposter syndrome? Right. I felt like two things. I felt like I was an imposter a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I also felt that there's more out there for me than to be sitting at this desk right now. And I was looking out the window, and I said, I want to be out there, but letting go of that rope, it's the right time for everyone is different. I held on to that rope too long.
Yeah. Well, that safety net is super, important to us. We hold on to those kinds of things really for a long time. And then I can, at least from my perspective, from my experiences too, when you finally leave, you find out, wow, that was kind of holding me back, know? And it was like this rubber band that just, all of a sudden I'm a slingshot. And I was thinking, gosh, I was worried about letting go, and I should have just let go, because this really helped me a lot by just giving up the other, because you can't serve two masters, very
Sure.
well.
You can't. And in perspective, I should have let go at age 21.
Yeah? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, but again, there's a lot of skill set and development that I'm applying right now that I didn't have any clue of what to do at age 21. So again, everything is perfect at the right time. is the way I really look at it, because right now I have every skill set to make it work.
Yeah, one thing paves the way for another, and so that's awesome. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll hold it right there. Folks, this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and the team at Long Realty Studios. We'll be right back after these messages.
We're the real wayfinders, the trailblazers, the go-getters. In a town where the desert wakes before dawn, we don't just talk, we make things happen. And when we speak, it's real, it's genuine, and it's worth hearing. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Canyon Country 97.7 FM. Join the Sherry Ethell Team for Keepin' It Real, where top realtors, local heroes, and a heartbeat of our community come together. Raw, authentic conversations, expert market insights, and the best local events you can't afford to miss. Keepin' It Real, celebrating our community. Bold, genuine, one of a kind.
It's the Home Spotlight Series, where home stories are told until they're sold.
Today's featured home is an excellent opportunity for anyone looking for affordability, space, and a solid foundation to make their own. 100 East Free Hodges Drive is a 3-bedroom home which offers 1668 square feet with an inviting living area featuring wood laminate flooring. The kitchen is updated and well designed for cooking and baking with Corian countertops, stainless steel appliances, an electric cooktop, breakfast bar, and great cabinet and counter space. The primary bedroom includes its own ensuite bath with a walk-in shower, plus 2 additional bedrooms and a full guest bath. You'll also appreciate the large indoor laundry room for added storage and convenience. Outside, enjoy a generous backyard with grass, a covered patio, and a storage shed. And one of the best features is the durable metal roof, a long-lasting upgrade that adds real value. If you're looking for a home in a desirable midtown location with room to personalize, this one is worth a look.
717-599-2439. Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living. All right, welcome back. This is Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host. We're keeping it real with Adam English from Bug Stop Pest Control. We're doing a little business spotlight, and we're talking before the break a lot about your business and getting started. And now that you're underway, right? What are you looking for? Let's talk a little bit about your connection. Obviously you said you have the connection to the area here. You've gone to school here. You're back, and you're enjoying that part of it, coming back to the area here, and kind of the prodigal son returns. And so what are you hoping to bring to Sierra Vista with this business here?
The most honest thing I could say is it just feels like I'm bringing love back home. And it's a business for sure. I'm a businessman, but what we built in Tucson was built off of relationships, care, persons, understanding, who our clients are, the little things about them, and building the community around us. I've been stopped in Tucson when I'm doing inspections, and realtors say, "Oh my God, what you're doing in the community is beautiful." And it makes me want to cry when they stop and do that. So really there's a feeling that is associated with that part of how we built our business. And on my end, what I want to bring, I've considered, hey, should we go to Phoenix, right? Everyone says Phoenix, but
Sure.
I'm like, I'm from here. This feels natural. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love in Bisbee. There's a lot of love in Tombstone, Alan English Street in Tombstone. My son's name is Alan English. My grandfather's name is Alan English. I'm Adam English. So it really feels just like there's no need to go north when you're rooted south.
A lot of people say that, and when they come back here, and there's just that connection to the area and to the people here. We're kind of a unique little community. A lot of people from the outside, they don't know it until they get here and really feel it. I've got a number of clients who've moved in, and they're just like, wow, I can't believe we missed out on this for so long, because it's such a neat place, and people are so good about, just welcoming people in, and such a tight connection for a community of, nearly 50,000 people in the Sierra Vista area, and even more across Cochise County. It's still a pretty tight community, even as a county. So different than what a lot of them have experienced. And so that's awesome you say all that. I was actually talking to somebody recently, somebody who was kind of semi-connected to the business and the trades and everything, and they had some experience with you. And one of the things they mentioned was that they were impressed with the fact that you're innovative, and that you're really a thinker, and that you care so much at the same time about people and about the business and the community. I think that speaks highly of you and your business, and just that connection to the community and connection to pest control too. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, and again, this is an honest belief.
Yeah.
You attract the right people into your life.
Yeah.
When you live in that vibration or that megahertz or whatever, you're going to attract the same type of people.
Yeah.
And it's that genuine part of what we bring that just people love us. Like we're salesmen. Sure, we have a business, but you don't have to build a business and you can be very genuine and sincere and really have the business part of it come along with who you really are as a person.
Yeah.
And I think that's the similarities is we actually really enjoy the people that we work with, and we love what we do, and we have a positive attitude, and everything's okay. Even when things aren't okay, things are still okay.
There's a number of different pest control companies out there, but I've heard from more than one person now that I've come across that know you and have worked with you that you're, one of those people who you're living what you say, and just the positive attitude and the creativity behind what you're doing is very positive. And so I look forward to seeing good things from you. And as a realtor, I can't wait to be able to have another option there too, and see what kinds of things you can bring to the community.
Looking forward to it, and things happen at exact time when they should. But even sitting here in this room with you, so I'm excited to be here in Sierra Vista for the 4th time this week. I'm excited to be back and seeing all the homes I used to live in, passing all the schools I used to live in, the stores. Still have Thrifty ice cream here, even though it's at a different location.
Right.
These are places where I grew up with my family, with my grandfather. I remember the Peking restaurant that used to be here. It's just nice to be back.
Yeah, no, that's great that you're reminiscing about it. I think, of course, it's changed so much over the years, but still a lot the same. Still has kind of the same feel, even though like Hereford looks so much different than it did a long time ago. It still has that same hometown feel, and you still have kids working in the community and things like that you just don't see in all the communities.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to live. We love it.
Yeah, I'm loving being back, and loving being part of this experience of the business, and just being living this life is amazing.
Yeah,
every moment.
Now, what's the plan going forward? So as you, I know you're doing, can you tell us a little bit about your services that you are doing right now here, and kind of what you hope to build to? Is there, maybe you can share with us what your plans are?
Yeah, for me, if it works and it works well, and it is phenomenal, water the phenomenal, right? Keep nurturing the things that are working great. And because you're only going to get better at it yourself. Defining, as it relates to the systems that you have, the people, the culture, helping my team become, better managers from a coach like me, I think is huge. But our brand as a business, I want to keep expanding. We currently have 19 home inspectors licensed under us to do termite inspections. Home inspectors make great termite inspections because they're very particular, very meticulous. And to me, I want to continue building what we built and be the extension, the integrated service for realtors. Example, Long Realty. We've been part of the Long Advantage program for 2 years. The way I look at it is I don't want you to look at me as a pest control company. Just like the company I worked for as a 1.2 billion division of a 16 point some billion division, we were not a supplier. We were an integrated supply company where you hired us as an extension of who you were. So in other words, if you fail, we fail. If you win, we win. And with that culture, we are doing a lot of great things to do last minute solutions for realtors. And had we expanded like other pest control companies did, we wouldn't have been able to have closed the deal that we did yesterday when we got a call last second that we needed to reroute a truck to go do a termite treatment within a couple of hours to hit the closing date. These are things that just are second nature for us, but had we had 20 other jobs on the horizon, we couldn't have rerouted that truck. So we're going to keep building with realtors. It's works, and if we build another pillar, If we want to go into doing just general residential, we'll do that. But we think if we did that now, we wouldn't be as strong of a service for all the realtors that we're working with right now. Any problem, any issue, we're mastering the process, is mastering a system. I customized a system because I couldn't find one out in the market. I had to go create logic, systems, functions, routing, all this stuff because I knew what I wanted and I knew nobody out there had it. So this is part of the journey, is creating something that nobody has. It's something unique. The system's unique. The people, the processes, the training. The vision is 1,000% unique, and I like being unique. I like that. So I'll keep building that. And if we have to say, hey, there's bug stop, termite, realtor integrated services, and then there's the pest control side, I think there needs to be a separation. Otherwise, you'll be doing one part a little bit of a disservice. And that's where we're at right now as the garage band that we started out from being.
That's super interesting because in a way, I guess, looking from the outside, I would have expected it to be the opposite. Somebody getting into the business, they would have gone for the residential stuff, and the easy grab kind of thing. And you guys really targeted the real estate side, knowing that, so many of those transactions are going to require a termite inspection. And very interesting that you're using home inspectors to do that and everything. Is that the plan going forward, just to keep doing that? And do they do anything else other than the inspection there with the pest control?
Yeah, so home inspectors have a lot of add-ons.
Yeah.
And on our end, I don't mind. The way I look at it is if it's good for the realtor, it's good for us.
Yeah.
And I've even spoken to gal I love out in Tucson, Debbie Chop. And I said, Debbie, I'll work with our competitors if it's an overall master solution for the real estate program.
Really? That's kind of interesting.
Well, I'd probably be crafting up the ultimate solution that would route how things could be done. Why? Because I used to do this in the corporate world.
Yeah, I see those wheels turning. I can see it.
You master the vision and then step away from being afraid of competitors.
Right.
And you just say, let's do the right thing. I'm not saying I'll ever work with a competitor, but if it had to happen, I know that I have the flexibility, then I'm not afraid, and I know I have the vision to make something work. And when you have that vision, sky's the limit.
Well, I love the fact that you're putting some of your own needs to aside from what the client needs, that because so often in this business, especially with real estate, we want to make it the least stressful, the most streamlined, and try to be able to serve our clients in a way that they need to be served. And each one is different. And so we really, really appreciate somebody who comes along who can see that vision ahead of time and know, hey, look, we got a job to get done. And we know that if you don't succeed in getting this closed, we're not going to succeed in getting another one of them from you. And so that's awesome.
And realtors want one-stop shop.
They do.
Can I book a home inspection that can do termite, sewer scope, pool inspection, even potentially roof inspections? What can I do really quick? And then, in order to book quality work, and then can it, even in an expeditious manner.
Yeah.
So to me, getting home inspectors offers flexibility across Southern Arizona. If we need any termite inspection to be done along with the home inspection, it's all done at the same time. It could be Douglas, it could be Hereford, Safford, it could be Rio Rico, Nogales, Tucson, you name it. So really having that flexibility. And as a business, I'm like, okay, what additional value can we bring to realtors? Handyman services for VA loans, where if there needs to be light repairs that need to be done, can we offer that as well?
Wow.
And then it could be, and then maybe there's just, again, an ultimate solution from just having that mindset that you don't have to be confined to being what the big dogs, the top 3 in town, or the top 3 in the state or the top 3 in the country. Maybe they're not right.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not right for what we're doing, and maybe we're right. Maybe at some point they're going to knock on our door and say, "Hey, you guys were right," and we'll be like, "Yeah, no, we were right." So
I love it. I love it. I love that confidence, and I love the fact that you're thinking a little outside of the box. Because I feel like, sometimes we get in this this box and this past how it's been done, and that's the one of those things when I hear people, well, it's the way we've always done it. Hate that phrase. I love the fact that you guys are looking at process and looking at what needs to be done and the ultimate goal and being able to get people there. So that's really cool.
We what I've learned is remarket yourself-ish every 3 months or so. What we did coming into 2026 was we launched what's called Bug Stop Pro. Now, it's not a gimmick. It's not what it is we have a lot of responsibility in what we've done here. And what I talked to with my team is now it's time to go from fight. Hey, we're fighting to survive. We're fighting to build. We're there was a lot of fight. Even the music that we're playing, it's like, yeah, it's Rocky type stuff,
Yeah.
The underdog stuff. It's like, now it's time to settle in because we did it.
Yeah.
So now that we did it, let's mature it. Let's be very mature. Let's be very professional about every aspect of what we're providing, starting with us inside.
I love it.
So that's the name, that's the theme, and that's when we talk about, guys, this is what we're going to do. Is this part of Bug Stop Pro? It's really us being professionals at what we do.
Well, I love it. I appreciate you coming on the show today, Adam. Really do thank you for coming by, and look forward to maybe hearing from you again as your business kind of continues to grow in our area and you continue to serve the public here. We always love hearing about community stories, especially those guys who they leave, they grow up, and they come back. And so great story. Thanks,
Excited.
Adam.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Love being here.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Again, this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and the team here at Long Realty Studios. I'm Dion Ethell, and we will talk to you again next week, but don't leave until you hear these next messages. We'll be right back. Tax time is here, but before you spend your refund, consider real estate with the Sherry Ethell team at Long Realty. It's a great way to move from renter to homeowner and on the road to building wealth.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Think of me as your guide to all things real estate. I tailor my approach to your needs and, most importantly, your goals. It's time to come see me and get a plan for your success.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Visit Sherry at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving service that we agree for military law and retirees. Stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trusted team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
Well, folks, that's a wrap on this week's Keepin' It Real radio show. As always, we're so grateful to have you spend part of your Saturday morning with us. Whether you're sipping coffee on the porch, out running errands, or out shopping for a home, we appreciate you. If something we said today sparked a question, or if you've got a great topic or guest idea for a future episode, we'd love to hear it. You can drop your suggestion in the Keepin' It Real suggestion box at the front desk of Long Realty, right behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Or just shoot me an email at sherry@sherryethelteam.com or call or text me anytime at 717-599-2439. We love hearing from you. It helps us keep this show real, relevant, and rooted in our Cochise County community. We'll be back next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on 97.7 Canyon Country, your first choice for legendary country.
Until then, stay safe, stay kind, and as always, keep it real, Cochise County.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Keepin' It Real radio show. Join us next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more engaging interviews with top realtors and industry leaders, keeping you informed about the latest trends in real estate. Stay connected with us as we bring you updates on the dynamic events shaping our vibrant community. From exciting local happenings to noteworthy charities and causes, we've got you covered. See you next week for another edition of Keepin' It Real.